Hey, back for another vlog, number 2. Going to take you through the second workout at the end of this one. I talked about my diet last time, talked about the first workout, what I'm doing. Very, very light weights, 3 times a week, about 20 minutes, 4 walks of about 45 minutes each week. So 3 20-minute weight sessions, 4 45-minute walks, and 1 Pilates session every 10 days to 2 weeks. Depends on when I can schedule them. My Pilates sessions are relatively expensive. I've never done Pilates before, but I need it. I am carrying some injuries. I've torn my calf, torn my hamstring. I've dislocated my shoulder many, many times. And my hips are really tight and needing to be sort of realigned. And yeah, I just need some help. So that's why I am doing Pilates. I am not a Pilates wizard or advocate or anything. But I am finding it useful, and it's helping me target my legs before I go back and put any kind of weight on them, doing, leg press or squats or any of those things. Because, again, just being cautious about my body. Being cautious about my body, trying to keep myself free of injury. And I'm in here, I'm doing this with the mindset of, this is a long-term project. Okay, so that's that. As I said last time, went through my diet. This week, I just want to talk a little bit about motivation, finding motivation again. I think one of the things that's been hardest is, again, it's related to some of the medication I'm on for my mental health, which is like one of the side effects, another of the side effects of the many side effects is that the medication can be quite numbing emotionally, and with regard to libido. I've often joked that I'm not sure how being obese and having a low sex drive is really beneficial for depression. But having said that, of course, that's a joke. It's kind of not a joke either, but what I would say is that the medication I'm on also has helped reduce my feelings of paranoia. It has helped me regulate my emotions, something I have always struggled with, or I was really struggling with, and that was getting quite out of control, was emotional dysregulation. And it has also helped reduce, in fact, has eliminated pretty much altogether my manic episodes, which I was having on a semi-regular basis. So, as well as panic attacks, which were related to all that. So, manic episodes, panic attacks, paranoia, and emotional dysregulation, all but eliminated. But certainly, I am still depressed, if I'm being honest. I suffer bouts of depression that can be pretty crippling. Put on a lot of weight, obviously, and I can feel quite numb emotionally. Pros and cons, obviously, there. The pros, for the most part, do outweigh the cons. However, but when it comes to getting back to fitness and health and trying to lose some weight, I'm coming up against something I've never really come up against before. Usually something clicks over for me and I enter this period of, quite strong resolve, and I launch myself back into fitness. I think I said last time that, I yo-yoed, I swung back and forth quite violently from really overweight to really fit. And I don't obviously want to do that anymore. I would like this to be the last time I have to lose a lot of weight. and I want to do it in a gradual, calm manner. And I would like to make changes to my diet that are pretty much permanent. That the way I am going to eat or gradually change over the next 12 months, that those changes that I do make and the way I come into eating by the end of this 12 months is pretty much it forever. That's going to be my diet for the rest of my life. Now, that sounds potentially quite extreme, but the diet, such as it is, isn't extreme. It's just some principles that I want to firm up and set in stone for myself and just have them for the rest of my life. So that's kind of the goal as well. So motivation, though. Because my self-esteem is actually incredibly low and very low today when I'm recording this, motivation has been really hard lately, and trying to figure out how to do this and why I'm doing this, and do I want to do this? Can I be bothered? It's I have not had this big, vigorous, I'm going to change, I'm going to get a six-pack, fuck you, rah, 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 macho bullshit. None of that exists for me anymore. It is like a very quiet person who just simply has had enough of being the way they are and really just desperately needs things to change. But the desperation, I guess, isn't, I'm not really feeling it. I'm sort of plodding along. And that's different for me because I've never been that way before. When I get something, when I have an idea and I think it's worth doing, I'm all in. I'm all in this time, but it feels different. And I think that when I think about self-esteem lately, there's my relationship. I spoke about my relationship with food last time. Maybe I'm talking about my relationship with my body today. It's like I don't necessarily like how I look, but I also don't necessarily want to like how I look either. Like I don't want to have, it's almost like I don't want to have a body at all, which sounds really weird, but there's kind of there's no vanity, and that's kind of a problem. Like vanity, we generally think is a bad thing, but I think vanity to a certain extent can be a virtue. That when it's like anything, it's like narcissism. When it's extreme, right? It's awful. But you need a little bit of narcissism. You need a little bit of self-love and even a little bit of self-worship. And it's good to think that you're good looking. It's good to find yourself sexually appealing, that you would have the confidence to think that. I really envy people who feel that way about themselves. I envy people who can take a picture of themselves and say, I look great in that, and I'm going to put that on my my Instagram profile or my Instagram account or whatever. I really don't have much of a relationship with my body at the moment, and so because of that, I don't have much of a relationship with wanting to change it either. I'd like to look different to how I do, but again, it's sort of more quite depressed, defensive. My position is rather depressed and defensive. Yeah, my position is like, oh, I'd rather just not have a body at all, you know? Ugh. So when I've gotten really in shape, I've been thinking about the body I would like to have. And I've been thinking like, yeah, I want to wear those, that kind of a shirt or those kinds of clothes. And I want to look good, and I want someone to take my picture, and I want to have an effect on people. I want to exude confidence. I want people to find me appealing. And that vanity has helped inspire me and motivate me towards my goal of weight loss, strength, whatever it is, pushing more weight in the gym, all that stuff. As well as the performance aspects of that as well, like wanting to run longer and faster and all that sort of stuff. But it's come with a sense of self, like. And that's what I mean when I say narcissism. A little dose of narcissism and a little dose of vanity is good for a person. I want to be me. I want to feel good. I want to look good. I want people to look at me and think that person looks good. That person feels good. I want to be like that person. Those things are good to have. Like, they're quite healthy. As I say, the way that I feel, and some of it's the medication, some of it's just depression anyway. I'm quite washed out. I'm quite numb. Libido doesn't really, it's just not there. So, I'm not thinking about like looking sexy. Ugh, far from it. I can't even imagine me looking sexy ever. At this point, once upon a time as a younger man, I did, I felt good about how I looked. There's a picture of me that I think I've displayed it before, when I did the body shame video, where, I'm taking a picture of myself. It's a selfie in the mirror, and I've got my shirt off, and I was really proud of how I looked. Like, I thought I looked really good at that point. For me, certainly by my standards. I'm never going to be, some kind of massive bodybuilder type, and I'm never going to be, I'm never going to look like Brad Pitt or whatever in Fight Club or whatever. But certainly by my standards, as somebody who had always been a kind of a chubby kid, getting in that kind of shape was extraordinary. Like, I worked really, really hard to look like that. And if people look at that and say, well, that's only average, that's a 5 out of 10, it's like, well, maybe on your scale, that's fine. But for me, that was awesome. That was the best I'd done in that aspect of my life. And I was really proud of it. And that's kind of what's lacking this time round, is the way I feel, and the way I felt now for some time, for years, is that I don't really even have the capacity to feel proud of myself anymore. And obviously that is a massive concern. So this is going to be an incredibly long process. It's going to be a very hard process physically, but it's going to mostly be a very difficult process mentally and emotionally, because it's not just about losing some weight and fitting back into an old pair of jeans or something like that. And by the way, I've already said that kind of looking back, I want to get back. That's kind of not the healthiest mindset to have anyway. But what I'm saying is, it's not just in the physical realm. It's like motivation is certainly lacking in that emotional capacity. Intellectually, I'm quite motivated. Like, I'm just humming along, diet's going fine. So perhaps I shouldn't worry. I'll just kind of wait for the results to come. And I don't try to check in with my weight too often, and I certainly don't. I'll talk about what I do and how I monitor myself later. I actually have someone helping me with that. But yeah, motivation, I'm not feeling motivated. I'm feeling resolved to doing this, but I'm not feeling motivated in a go get it kind of a way. Maybe it's age. I don't think it's just age though. So yeah, I'll take you through the second workout now, which is the shoulder workout, and you can have a look at that. And that's it. More to come. Bye. Hey guys, so in the gym, again, just going to take you through the second workout in the week, which is going to be shoulders and calves. Again, not many exercises, only really about 4 or 5. I forgot to shoot my stretches and all sorts of stuff last week, but I've managed to record most of the workout today. So obviously shoulder press again, just going for 3 sets of 8 to 12, moving from shoulder press into lateral raises. Again, super lightweight, just focused on form and really just getting these exercises back into my system. That's effectively what I'm trying to do for the first, 8 to 12 weeks. Obviously, I want to up the weight, and I'll chuck in 1 or 2 extra exercises over time, but we're pretty much sticking with this for quite some time. From the lat raises, move on to the front raises. Again, super lightweight. Trying to overcome injuries. This is really early days on what's going to be a very, very, very long journey, and there is no need to go straight out of the gate trying to kill it and throw weight around and stuff up my shoulders all over again. I've done that before. And then finishing off with a superset of reverse cable flies. Sorry about the shot, not the best angle, didn't really get everything in, didn't set the camera up right, I apologize. Reverse cable flies, superset with calf raises. I've got the little calf raise seat. It's one of the few pieces of equipment I really deliberately purchased. Seems a bit of an excess. Ultimately, it's not, again, sorry about this shot. But, when it comes to my calves, I did tear my left calf. And so this is an exercise I really like to do. And I do need this. So I bought the machine. Then I finish really simply. Sometimes I start with this, sometimes I finish. Just 20 minutes. 20 minutes on the treadmill, walking, nothing crazy. And then there's usually a little stretching or shoulder warming up at the beginning, which again, I forgot to film. Sorry about that. And that's it. A little bit more Kingsley coming your way. Here he is. And that's it. I'll see you next time. Bye.